Okay, here's the question. Is there a way to choose specific comps that Pricelabs bases our pricing on? And the answer is yes. There are kind of two ways to do it. One, you can get really specific with your comps. The other is based on proximity to your cabin or to your home. But there is a way to, how do I explain this? It only gives you options within a certain radius, but there is a way to add additional properties to that. So the first way to do it, the more specific way, the more granular way, is within market dashboards. So, you can see I have a bunch of market dashboards here. So I'll just do this one in Gatlinburg, and this one is, I have the max subscription on this, so it's like $40 a month, but I get 5,000 listings within whatever radius I choose. But there's lower level ones. There's one I think that's $20 a month for 5,000 listings, or maybe this is the 5,000 listing one, so I think it's $20 a month. And there's one for 1,000 listings, which is $10 a month. The issue you run into with the smaller ones is that when you're setting your radius, it'll tell you how many listings there are within the radius that you've set. So you want to be sure to not go over the selection that you've chosen. So if you pick the one with 1,000 listings and then you pick 5 kilometers and there's 1,500 listings, well, it's going to omit 500 of the listings, right? So in that scenario, you would lower the radius to like 4 kilometers, and then it would say like 1,200 listings. You go, okay, that's too many. Let's do 3.5 kilometers. Oh, 978. So then you're seeing everything that is within that radius, right? So what you want to do here, this is the first screen. It's going to show you all these KPIs for, this is everything on Airbnb. So in the top left, you have these different Compsets, and you can make your own, which is what we're going to be doing, or you can look at Airbnb or Vrbo or specific bedroom count by selecting the filter here. So if you only want 4 bedrooms, or if you want 4 and 5 bedrooms, then select that and you would click apply filter, and all of this will change. So the KPIs you can see in the last 365 days, the last 30 days, or the last 7 days. And once you make your Compset with the comps that you choose, then that'll be an option here. So you can just view your Compset and it'll tell you, what these values are. So it's very useful, I think, for booking windows specifically. So this means that, the average guest is booking 35 days in advance. You can hover over this little thing and it'll tell you 50th percentile booking window. Booking window is a period of time between when a guest makes a reservation and the actual check-in day, made within the last 360. Well, that's 365 days. This will be the last 30 days. It's 36 days in the booking window here. And you can see what the average length of stay is. So, if you're coming up on Thanksgiving, maybe it's going to be a little longer. You can see what the ADR is. And obviously this is for all listings, right? So once you choose your Compset here, it's going to be much more specific to your property. And there's this map. So my radius is 5 kilometers. So I'm seeing 5,000 listings within 5 kilometers. And this is Gatlinburg. So it's a very dense market. You can see these red ones are the higher priced ones, and these green ones are the lower priced ones. So you can kind of see if you're looking for a new area to invest in, you can kind of see where the higher priced ones are. And obviously this isn't telling you the cost of the home, but it's just giving you an idea of where people are spending money. So here's the listings and Compsets. So this is where you would create your Compsets, and then you can, view them, if you have ones that are already created. So the way you're going to create them is, I've already forgotten how big your property is. I'll just give you an example of, 4 bedrooms. So you'd come to filter listings here on the side. You'd select 4 bedrooms. A way I like to do it, instead of bedrooms, I like to do it by max guest. because there's some 4 bedrooms that sleep 12, but maybe yours only sleeps 8. So maybe you're more competing with 3 bedrooms. But, you know, you can do whatever you want. So you'd have 4 bedrooms, maybe you can do both. So it sleeps 12. And then, you know, you're looking for, oh man, there's not a single 4-3. That's crazy. You know, 4-4. And you don't want townhomes, right? You only want, you know, single family homes. So in this scenario, they're cabins, but you could have also like, you know, you can choose many of them. Chalets, you know, that sort of thing. Star rating, you know, you can weed out bad ones if you want. I tend to leave these in because what this is going to do when we apply the filter down here is it's going to populate this with a number of listings. Could be 10, could be 50. And then we're going to go through and look at them. So I tend to leave this. I tend to raise the reviews a little bit just to kind of weed out listings that, you know, aren't really regular rentals. Maybe they're just the owner only does it when he's out of town or stuff like that. And you can do all this, the price and the min stay. I like to do a high active nights. So this is the number of days that it was available in the last year, right? So maybe if they blocked it for a month, it'd be 330. 2 months would be, you know, 300. So I try to do this like, you know, high 200s around here. I tend to not mess with these because we're going to do that over here. And then say in this instance, you want, you know, this is Gatlinburg, so none of them are going to be beachfront, but a lot of them have pools, right? So say this one doesn't have a pool because I don't want to use cabins with pools in my comp set. But they're all going to have air conditioning and, you know, no sauna. I don't, you know, in this made up listing, I don't have that, right? So yes, I do have a hot tub. No, I do not have an EV charger. Yes, I have a grill. Yes, kitchen. You don't have to do these. Well, it depends on the market, right? There's no beachfront in Gatlinburg, but just for the sake. So pets, so say, yes, I take pets. So I'm going to put a yes here. No, it's not ski in, ski out. This, I don't care about that. This stuff, I don't care. And then, you know, if you want to adjust the radius, you can do that, or any of this stuff. So I don't know why it's not letting me apply the filter here. You can also do both. Why isn't it not letting me apply the filter? Do cancellation policy. Say we're doing firm. I'm trying to get it to, to let me apply the filter here. You get rid of the bathroom count. Get rid of these. There's not going to be any like 4-bedroom condos. That's very strange why it's not letting me do this. See if I can do this again. Oh, I might do it anyway, just for me. Clicking that X. Let's see. It's often quite slow to populate depending on how much data there is in the area. Anyways, while we're waiting, once these things are populated, oh, here you go, never mind. So it obviously did not work because I still have studios here. Here you go, apply filter. That's strange. So now we have all these, you know, these parameters that I selected, and it gave me 3 pages of options. So, you know, 20, 30, 21 listings approximately. And you can, I go to column visibility, and then I add estimated revenue. I'm not sure why that's not shown by default, but it's not. And so what I like to do is sort by estimated revenue. So these are the highest priced. It doesn't sound right. Got 130 there. Oh, it's because I'm on page 2. It's page 1. Yeah. So, okay. So I have it sorted from highest estimated revenue to lowest estimated revenue. So these 4 bedrooms, 150 grand, 130 grand, 130 grand, 120 grand. Say if I'm in that range already, right? Kind of open these up and check on them just to make sure that they are, what I'm looking for. To make sure there's not some bad data somewhere, like maybe it ends up having a pool. This one doesn't. This is a really nice cabin. Got the theater room. So maybe I don't have a theater room, but he does. So maybe this is not a good comp. But let's say I do have a theater room, right? So that was this one. So say I like that. And this one, the Solstice Summer Mountain Views Decks hot tub. Good for her if she's doing, him or her, if they're doing that much. But this is kind of like an older cabin. No, maybe it's not. It kind of looks like an older cabin, but it might not be. They got the theater room as well. So anyway, so I'm going to go through all these and kind of pick the ones that I think are like legitimate comparables, right? So say it's like everything on this first page here. And you want to kind of get, I think there's kind of 2 theories here. So statistics would say you want to have as many as possible, but at the same time, if I'm only seeing 21 options here, say I'm already doing like 110. Well, I don't care what these guys that are doing 83 are doing. I only care about these guys up top because they're doing better than me, right? So maybe I don't want to include these. You only want to include the top guys because you're trying to emulate them or beat them, right? So then you have to enter a name here. So like test Compset or whatever. You'd put like 4 bedroom, no pool, Gatlinburg, etc. And then you would generate it, confirm. Compset, test Compset created. So that's going to be in here now. Test Compset. I can view it by clicking this eyeball. I can edit it by clicking this pencil, or I can delete it. I'm not sure what this middle setting would be for. Here I can go view them whenever, and you can check out other things: booking window, length of stay, max guest, pets allowed. Any of these things here. You can also search by host ID. If you know somebody's host ID, you can put it in here, right? And you can also alter these, like, if you want this to be like more than 8, then it's only going to show you ones that are more than 8. It's pretty powerful. So the downside to this is that, I can do this here. So apply filter. The downside is you have to wait 24 hours before you can integrate this back into your main Pricelabs area, into the pricing calendar and the neighborhood data and the pacing reports. Well, that used to be the case. Maybe it's not anymore since I can apply it here. It's taking forever. So anyway, this data is now changed. I can look at the last 30 days or the last 7 days, to see what the average listing in my Compset is, the number of bookings it's getting, and the booking window, the average length of stay, stuff like that. I can see them on the map, the ones that I chose. So maybe I determined this one's too far away, so I can eliminate it. And then it's got the stuff here, and then this is going to tell me a bunch of data about what it thinks the average revenue is going to be, RevPAR, occupancy, ADR. This is per month, and this is over the last however many months. Booking window, length of stays. Some more stuff, more data, booked nights, active listings. So one of these didn't exist before February of 23. And it's got some, trends, prices, occupancy for days of the week. So clearly Friday and Saturday are going to be more and higher priced. And it'll tell you, here's the booked nights on the left, and then the booking windows on the bottom. And then here the length of stay versus the booked nights. So you're generally looking at they're booking between 1 and 2 months from now, and they're booking on average 3 to 4 days. And it's going to be the common amenities. So this is what everybody has, and then the desired amenities. So this seems, you can kind of assume that this is what guests want. It's defined by the difference between percent occurrence in bookings in the last 30 days versus percent occurrence in the listings. So, bookings with private entrance are being booked more so than bookings without private entrance. And with the data set this small, this is going to be very skewed. But, if you have a larger comp set, it's going to be better data. Ideally, you'd want to be, around 30 if possible. I think statistically they say 32 would give a good average for all these things. But, sometimes that's not the case, especially when you're in a small market. You might not even have 30 comps. There might not even be 30 Airbnb listings, who knows. But here you can see down here what they're charging for cleaning, what their cancellation policies are. And you can make adjustments to your listing based on that. Like, if your cleaning fee is way higher than everybody else's, maybe you drop yours a little bit to compete. And because of that, maybe you can raise the price, the nightly rate, And this is an interesting chart because it shows you the number of the percentage of listings and then the percentage of bookings. So here, people are booking more in this 320 plus range, but also in this 184 to 200 range, right? So it's, once again, this is a small data set, so it's going to be very skewed, but I think you are smart enough to understand. And if you want, you can, set this as a PDF. So that's how you make the comp set. And then there's 2 places that you can integrate that comp set back into Pricelabs. I'll give you an example. This listing is in Gatlinburg. It's a 3-bedroom, but it's just as an example. So you would come to neighborhood data. And neighborhood data by default is going to show you similar listings in your neighborhood based on bedroom count. So normally they'll go plus 1 bedroom and minus 1 bedroom. So normally this would be this is a 3-bedroom, so it's going to show me 2 to 4 bedrooms by default. I have this set to 4 because this 3-bedroom has a pool, so it generally competes with 4 bedrooms. And if you have a markup or a markdown on your PMS, like, some people raise their Airbnb price like 13% or whatever, 3%, or you can do that here to show you like how your price would actually compare when somebody's viewing it on Airbnb. So it's going to have an additional blue line on top of the black line, right? So I can see some of these are really high compared to the similar listings. And so the way to incorporate that comp set is here where it says nearby listings. You can change to market dashboard. And in market dashboard, you can pick which market dashboard. So mine was in Gatlinburg 5000. And then within that market dashboard, it's going to allow you to choose any of those comp sets that you created. Oh, it's already there. Look at that. They used to make you wait like 24 hours. Or you can view just by bedroom count here. So you'd click apply, and it's going to replace the similar listings data with the data from the comp set that you created. So it's going to show me exactly what, where their prices are. It's a more specific version of the neighborhood data chart. And you do have to keep your market dashboard subscription for this to stay the same. So that's how you do that. And that's going to show you the future prices and the occupancy. This is a new chart. I've never seen this. Market history. Cool. I love Pricelabs. They're always coming up with new stuff. So that's one place to incorporate the Compset data. The other place is in Portfolio Analytics Pacing Report. And so what this is, if you do Portfolio Analytics and then KPIs and historic reports, it's going to show you past data. But Pacing Reports is going to show you, it'll show you past data. It'll also show you future data and kind of how you compare to yourself and how you compare to any of those comp sets that you've created. So I selected the specific listing, but you can also do it, you can have a number of listings or a whole portfolio in there. And you can change the aggregation. I like monthly just because, daily and weekly it gets kind of choppy. And you can change the date selection here, whether you only want future, only want past, or some of each. I like last 6 months and next 3 months because it kind of shows you the future here. And then you would choose the market dashboard. So by default, there's just no market dashboard. And I'll show you what the difference looks like. And then you would scroll down here and you would find that comp set that you created. Maybe it's not going to be on there. Test comp set, there we go. And you can click remember selection there so that it remembers, to do the same thing every time you're looking at it. So what this normally looks like if you don't have a market dashboard is these will be gone. So it'll just have your thing here. And you can do show recommended prices as well. But with the market dashboard, it'll show you, those different bands, just like it does on the neighborhood data. So this one really isn't that different, right? So down here is where it gets a little interesting. So by default, you will not have these red lines. So you will have the gray line, which is your occupancy this year, and then you'll have this dotted gray line, which was your occupancy last year, today. So, on today, July 27th of last year, my August occupancy was at 32.26, and it is today as well. So it's completely identical, but I can look back a little bit. Last year for June, it was 96%. This year it was 100%. These are a little lower. We had it closed off a little bit in April for some repairs, and I went as well. I was there for a week, so kind of judge yourself based off this year, based off last year, and then you can click final last year to see where you finished. So I finished way up here, even though I was here today, and I'm here today this year, so I can presume that I'll finish up there as well. And you can go forward to see forward data, and you can look back to see how you performed against yourself. And then pickup is just where people are booking, right? So your pickup for the last 7 days is 9.86, and the market pickup is 3.23. So what that means is over the last 7 days, I am booking at a rate 3 times what the market is in the last 7 days, which doesn't really mean much because, once again, we're dealing with a very small set of data that we're comparing it to, right? So what the red ones are is the market, or in this instance, that comp set, right? So that comp set this year is the solid red line, and that comp set last year is the dotted red line. So this year, it's not doing as good as it was last year. March was worse, April was worse, May was worse, and this is just occupancy, right? So you have occupancy, you have ADR, and then you have RevPAR, which is essentially a combination of the two. So this is really the most important chart. So if we want to look at that, it's you can see where the market is this year compared to where the market was last year. And then you can compare yourself this year to yourself last year. And here for August, the market, your comp set is doing 320 RevPAR, whereas last year was doing 259. So that's a huge improvement. Whereas me, I'm doing 236, and last year I was at 199. So my improvement is not as good as that comp set's improvement. And I suspect that that's because one of those listings in the Compset was very new and it's no longer new, so it's able to charge a higher rate. It could be a number of things. And booking curves, you can't incorporate the Compset data here. So this is the second place where you would incorporate Compset data to judge your performance based on their performance. So, that was the first half of the answer, right? So that was choosing specific comps, not based on location, that I thought were, specific to the listing that I was looking at. Whereas the other way is back here in the neighborhood data. You can scroll down to competitor calendar. And now these are going to be based on proximity. So this is going to show me whatever I have selected here, 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom, or if I have 2 to 4 here, it's going to show me 2 to 4, or if I have just 3s, it's only going to show me 3s. And you click here, select listings, and this is going to show me the closest. No, it's 4 bedrooms because I had selected 4 up here. The closest homes to my home. So 0.8 kilometers away. This is like the guy next door, right? So 0.1 kilometers, 100 meters away. It's very close. 0.11, 0.17, 0.23. You can select up to 10 of these. And then it's going to show you down here the ones that you've selected. It shows you their cleaning fee and whether they split the service fee or whether the host is paying for it, because that can be, a 10% plus discount or difference. What's going on here? I don't see the little slider. This is a little confusing. It's letting me just click. Interesting. There used to be a slider that you could drag, but it looks like now it's just clicking right and clicking left. So what it's going to do is it's just going to show me the prices and the minimum night stays for my listing. The bolds are going to be the open dates, and the grayed out is going to be the booked dates. And then it's going to show me the competitors that I selected here, what their prices are, and where they're, when they booked. If it has a slash through it, that means it's booked. And if it doesn't have a slash through it, it means it's not booked. So if I look here and I say, oh, this guy, I'm very similar to this guy. He's charging $284 and I'm charging $409 and $388. Maybe I should lower my price. Or the opposite, if they're a lot higher, maybe I can make mine a little higher. And you can see that in table form here, or if you click graph, it'll show you graphical format. It shows you the color that's associated with the specific cabin. So it's kind of like this, but it's just more specific, right? And if you want to add a specific listing that's not on this chart here, you can click add competitor. So what you would do in this instance is you would find that listing on Airbnb, you would copy their link or their listing ID, paste it here, you click verify, and then it's going to, beautiful Smoky Mountain views. And I think that was this one. Yeah, the photo's the same. They must have changed their title at some point. And then I would click add listing. And then now that one would be incorporated here. So, if you have a small enough market and you want to add specific, let's see if I can do more than one. I have no idea. This could save you from having to pay for Market Dashboard. Now you wouldn't have the pacing report area, but you could do it down here to see, if you only got like 4 comps, it would make it a lot easier, right? So yeah, it looks like it's letting me accept more than 2. This is up to 10. I would assume it's the same even for adding competitors. And you can download this data to CSV. You can download pretty much anything to CSV if you want. But yeah, so that's the other way that you can find specific listings. Now I want to try something here. I've never tried to I've never looked at that competitor calendar when I have this Compset entered here instead of the similar listing, so I want to see what it does there. I have a feeling it's just going to show me the same ones, but let's find out. I think these are listings from the Compset. That is interesting. Picture perfect. Picture perfect. Yeah, that's great. I didn't know you could do that. So yeah, if you incorporate the Compset here, then that would also incorporate that into the competitor calendar. That's great. So anyways, I hope that answers your question. I know that was a lot. It was a 30-minute video. Wow. Cool. Good luck.